Welcome to the Deep Dive.
Great to be here.
Today we're plunging into, well, one of the most intriguing and honestly influential texts outside the traditional biblical canon, the Book of Enoch.
Absolutely. It's really something.
Yeah, this isn't just some dusty old manuscript. It feels more like a profound journey. You get celestial secrets, divine judgments, these amazing prophecies. It just paints such a vivid picture of cosmic order and, well, human folly.
Mm-hmm.
So our mission for this deep dive is really to distill the most important bits, the nuggets of knowledge and insight from the excerpts we've got.
Yeah, try and make sense of it all.
Exactly. You're about to uncover some surprising connections, I think, trace themes you might recognize, and hopefully gain a real appreciation for a text that, truly shaped ancient thought and frankly still captivates us today.
It's an incredible opportunity, really. We get to explore this narrative that, lots of people are curious about, but maybe haven't really dug into thoroughly. So this deep dive, I think it'll help us grasp Enoch's unique worldview. It's got this highly structured cosmology, these really stark moral pronouncements, and that amazing allegorical history we'll get into.
Oh, yeah?
It definitely challenges our assumptions about ancient religious thought, and it invites us to consider, how relevant it might still be.
Okay, so right from the outset, Enoch just throws us into this, truly epic vision. He says it's not even for his own generation.
No, for a remote one, he calls it.
Which, yeah, could easily be us. And we learn about the Holy Great One, God, coming forth from his dwelling, stepping onto Mount Sinai with such power.
The earth shakes, the watchers quake.
Exactly. It's this powerful image of judgment, right? Promise for the wicked and godless, they'll be swept away, while the righteous, the elect, they're promised peace, protection, eternal blessing. It's quite the opening.
And what's really striking there is the fundamental tension Enoch sets up immediately. He constantly contrasts the perfect, unchanging order of God's creation.
Like the sun, the moon, the seasons.
Precisely. All keeping their orbits, cycling reliably, seas and rivers doing their jobs. He contrasts that with the profound instability and rebellion of humanity.
Right.
He observes how none of the things upon earth change in their steadfastness, yet humans, well, have not been steadfast nor done the commandments of the Lord.
So it's like the universe itself is obeying, but we aren't.
That's the profound insight here. Enoch presents a cosmos where the very order of the universe acts as a kind of moral measuring stick.
Huh. I hadn't quite thought of it like that.
Yeah, unlike the steadfast stars, humanity's discord isn't just a social issue. It's presented as a cosmic anomaly. It really shows this deep, ancient concern for natural and divine law.
And the consequences.
Well, for the hard-hearted, Enoch warns there's going to be no peace. Their lives shall perish in eternal execration. Stark stuff. But for the elect, there's this promise of light, joy, wisdom, leading to lives without sin, multiplied years, eternal gladness.
That really sets the stage perfectly. And then the story just takes this astonishing turn with the Watchers. What exactly is this narrative, and what does Enoch want us to get about their transgression? Because it sounds like it's about way more than just lust.
Oh, you're absolutely right. It's so much deeper. Enoch describes this pivotal moment. 200 angels, the children of heaven, these are the Watchers. They see the beautiful daughters of men multiplying on earth. They lust after them, yes, but then they swear this binding oath on Mount Hermon, of all places, to actually go through with taking human wives.
Even though their leader, Semjaza, was worried?
Yeah, he initially feared the penalty, the text says, for such a huge sin, but they all bound themselves to it anyway. But crucially, like you said, their sin went way beyond just taking wives. The text is clear. They taught humanity forbidden knowledge, charms, enchantments, root cuttings, sure.
But more than that.
Oh, yeah. Astrology, constellations, knowing about clouds, signs of the earth and sun, the course of the moon. It's this fascinating inversion, isn't it?
It really is. Divine beings meant to watch over us.
Corrupted and imparting secret, destructive knowledge that ultimately leads to humanity's downfall. And the result?
The giants.
The giants. Gargantuan 3,000 ells tall, it says. Almost unfathomably huge. They consume everything mankind has, then turn to devouring humans themselves, birds, beasts, fish.
Just total chaos.
Total chaos. The earth was filled with blood and unrighteousness, and the desperate cry of humanity went up to heaven.
You paint such a grim picture, truly apocalyptic. So this cosmic outcry, It didn't go unnoticed then.
Mhm.
How does the divine realm respond to all this immense lawlessness?
No, it definitely didn't go unnoticed. The holy angels, Michael, Uriel, Raphael, Gabriel, they looked down from heaven, saw the sheer scale of it all.
And took action.
They brought mankind's suit, as the text puts it, before the Lord of the ages, and the divine response is, well, swift and multifaceted.
Okay, like what?
The Most High sends Uriel to warn Noah about the coming flood, the deluge that would wipe out everything, telling him to hide so his lineage could be preserved.
All right, Noah's line.
Then Raphael is commanded to bind Zazel. He's the angel blamed for teaching all the corruption. Bind him hand and foot in the desert, cover him with rocks until the final judgment by fire.
Wow, intense.
And Gabriel, sent to destroy the bastards, the monstrous children of the Watchers, basically by inciting them to fight and kill each other. No mercy for their fathers either.
So turning them on themselves.
Exactly. And Michael gets the order to bind Samjaza and his crew for 70 generations in the valleys, destined for the abyss of fire.
70 generations.
Yeah. And the text really underlines the tragic irony. These Watchers would see their beloved sons destroyed before their own eternal torment begins.
Ooh.
But this judgment, it also kind of clears the slate. It ushers in a new era, supposedly, of righteousness, peace, blessing for the earth, where humanity will eventually become righteous and worship God again.
And Enoch himself, he has this unique role in all this. He's called the scribe of righteousness, right? And the Watchers actually try to get him to plead their case.
They do. They hope he can intercede for them, maybe get them some peace or forgiveness.
What does God say to that? What does that tell us about divine justice in this worldview?
Well, it's a truly stark divine counterargument. God basically tells Enoch, hang on, they should have been interceding for men, not the other way around.
Ah, flipping the script.
Completely. He emphasizes that spiritual beings, angels, they weren't meant to have wives. Their proper home is heaven.
And the giants.
Born from this unnatural mix of spirit and flesh, they're designated evil spirits. They'll remain on earth, causing trouble, affliction, oppression, destruction, right up until the great judgment.
So no escape for them either.
Nope. And it means absolutely no peace or forgiveness for the Watchers themselves. They have to endure seeing their children destroyed first.
Right.
It really hammers home the idea that messing with the cosmic order has these severe, unbending consequences.
So Enoch isn't just like recording events from afar. He's traveling through them. His journey goes beyond earthly judgments. Take us through that incredible ascent he makes, right into the fabric of the cosmos. What does he see that no man shall see?
Right. It's this almost dizzying ascent. He describes a vision of divine transcendence, universal order. He sees a wall made of crystals surrounded by tongues of fire.
Wow.
Then this vast house, also of crystal, with fiery cherubim inside and a ceiling like the path of the stars. He goes in, feels both hot as fire and cold as ice.
Intense sensations.
Very. Then he sees a second house, even grander, built entirely of flames. And there, on a throne of crystal, sits the great glory, God himself.
He sees God.
He sees the glory. His raiment outshines the sun and snow, it says, so magnificent that no angel, let alone human flesh, can actually behold his face directly.
Incredible.
And he's shown these treasuries where the stars, thunder, winds are kept. They're described as furnishing creation, forming the very pillars of the heaven.
Pillars of heaven.
Yeah. He sees a place burning day and night, where 7 magnificent mountains stand. One resembles God's throne, made of alabaster and sapphire. He also sees this abyss with columns of heavenly fire.
What's that?
It's a prison for stars that transgress the commandment of the Lord by not showing up at their appointed times. They're bound there for 10,000 years.
10,000 years.
Yeah.
Even stars get punished.
It really highlights the severity of divine law, doesn't it? Not just for angels, but for the very celestial bodies. It paints this picture of a cosmos under precise, unwavering divine rule.
And his cosmic travels don't stop there.
Right.
What else does he reveal about, like, celestial mechanics or where souls go?
No, he keeps going.
But
He lists the hierarchy, the names of 7 powerful holy angels who watch Uriel, Raphael, Raziel, Michael, Seraphel, Gabriel, Ramil, each with specific jobs, specific domains.
okay.
He also describes that chaotic, horrible place, again, the prison of the angels, where those fallen stars are bound for millennia for their transgressions.
Right.
And crucially, he's guided to these 4 hollow places. They're designated for the spirits of all the dead, just waiting for judgment.
All the dead.
All of them. He even encounters the spirit of Abel, still crying out against Cain, his murderer.
Wow, even Abel.
Yeah. And these hollow places, they're explicitly separated. One for the righteous, one for sinners, one for those killed by sinners. Each group awaiting its distinct fate.
So it's not just cosmology, it's like a detailed map of the afterlife, too.
Exactly. It emphasizes this preordained destiny for every single soul. He also sees this sacred, fragrant tree of wisdom, the one from Genesis.
Adam and Eve's tree.
That's the one. It'll be given to the righteous in the future temple, providing joy, long life, no more sorrow.
And it's not just the huge cosmic stuff. You mentioned he gets really specific.
Incredibly specific. He details the origins of Earth's aromatics, frankincense, aloe, all that. He even describes the precise portals of heaven where the sun, moon, stars come out, where the winds blow from.
Portals for the wind.
Yeah, with specific effects. Some winds bring blessing, others bring destruction. And he meticulously counts and writes down their courses, their names, their times, just as the angel Uriel revealed it to him.
It suggests this incredibly precise, measured universe, doesn't it? Like clockwork.
It absolutely does. The sheer level of detail, the meticulousness, it just reinforces this core idea. The universe is governed by absolute divine order.
Yeah.
Every single element, from the smallest plant to the biggest star, has its proper place, its function. It's not just a mystical vision. It's presented almost like a revelation of the underlying mechanics of creation itself.
Emphasizing God's total control.
Total sovereignty and the inherent laws that govern everything, physical and spiritual.
Okay, so from these cosmic visions, Enoch also gives us this really unique way of looking at history itself. How does he weave that grand narrative into his three parables?
Yeah, the three parables are fascinating. They offer this sweeping view of history, judgment, and redemption, but framed allegorically. In the first parable, you see that stark distinction again. Sinners driven from the earth, denied the Lord, while the righteous see their secrets revealed and stand before the elect one.
The elect one.
Yeah, and what's really interesting here is the introduction of these key figures, the head of days and the son of man.
Right, those are significant terms.
Hugely significant. The head of days seems to be the ultimate divine authority, the ancient eternal God. But the son of man, he emerges as this pre-existent, chosen, almost messianic figure.
Pre-existent, before creation.
It says he existed before the sun and the signs were created. He embodies righteousness, reveals hidden treasures, chosen by the Lord of spirits.
And what's his role?
He's going to put down kings and the mighty, those who deny God's name, fill them with shame, their fate, darkness for their dwelling, worms for their bed, no hope of rising. Very. But the prayers of the righteous, their shed blood, they ascend to heaven, ensuring judgment happens. And this Son of Man, he'll be a staff to the righteous, the light of the Gentiles, the hope of those who are troubled. Everyone will worship him, it says. He's really central to Enoch's vision of ultimate justice and redemption.
And the text uses such powerful metaphors for the wicked falling.
Yeah.
These mountains of different metals, iron, copper, silver, gold, lead.
Yeah, he sees those. He's told they shall serve the dominion of his anointed, but ultimately they'll become powerless before his feet like wax before fire.
So earthly wealth, power. Totally useless in the end.
Precisely. Enoch describes this deep valley with open mouths, never filled, where kings and the mighty are cast into burning fire, bound with iron chains of immeasurable weight.
And Azazel and his hosts end up there too.
Them too, condemned to this abyss, punished for leading humanity astray. Yet, interestingly, after this huge destruction, the head of days, it says, repented.
Repented, like regretted the flood.
Seems like it. He swore by his great name. He wouldn't destroy the earth again with a deluge, setting a sign in heaven like the Rainbow Covenant, but seen through Enoch's unique lens.
Oh.
But the righteous, meanwhile, they're promised this glorious fate. Unending days, eternal peace, eating and lying down with the Son of Man clothed in garments of glory.
So the core idea is that judgment isn't just punishment.
Right, it's restorative. It clears the way for a renewed world, a righteous world.
Okay, maybe one of the most vivid and honestly kind of weird sections is the dream visions, particularly that detailed animal allegory of history.
Yeah, the animal allegory is wild.
It starts with a white bull, that's Adam, right?
Yeah.
And a heifer for Eve.
Exactly. Then a black bull, Cain, gores a red one, Abel. And then it gets really strange. Fallen stars, the Watchers.
They become bulls.
They become bulls, cover cows, human women, and bear elephants, camels, and asses. Those are the giants.
Wow. Elephants, camels, asses. That's quite the image for the giants.
It's such a striking way to tell the story, isn't it? And it's this incredibly rich allegorical vision that basically gives you a whole sweep of human history and God's intervention.
So it continues after the giants.
Oh, yeah. You see the white bull, Noah, building his vessel, surviving the flood, coming out with 3 other bulls, his sons.
Shem, Ham, and Japheth.
Presumably. Then, after the flood, all these other beasts of the fields and birds emerge. They symbolize different nations, oppressors.
Okay.
The white sheep represent Israel. You see them oppressed by wolves, that's Egypt. Led across a divided sea, the Exodus. Building a house, the temple.
It maps onto biblical history.
Pretty closely, yeah. Later, a ram arises, probably a king, maybe David or Solomon, but then some sheep stray, the house gets destroyed, the sheep are handed over to lions, tigers, and wolves, symbolizing empires like Babylon, Persia, Greece, maybe Rome, and the exiles.
And the shepherds.
70 shepherds are appointed to look after the sheep, but Enoch watches them, and they actually destroy more sheep than they were commanded to, and he records it all in a book.
So even the leaders are corrupt.
Corrupt shepherds, yeah. This whole detailed historical sweep, it leads up to this grand judgment. Fallen angels, the corrupt shepherds, the blinded sheep sinners, they're all cast into a fiery abyss.
And then
Then a new, greater house is built, and all the sheep become white again, symbolizing this transformed, totally righteous humanity.
it gives this profound sense of history unfolding according to a divine plan, doesn't it? With like precise accountability.
Exactly. Symbolic, yes, but precise accountability for every action.
Okay, so this brings us towards the end, to Enoch's direct exhortation. He's talking to his kids, future generations. What's the message there?
Well, he emphasizes that violence is going to increase on earth, leading to a great chastisement, the end of unrighteousness. But then, interestingly, a new period of even greater sin before the final judgment.
Not a straight path to glory, then.
No, not immediately. And this is where he lays out what scholars often call the week's apocalypse.
The week's apocalypse.
Yeah, it's this chronological prophecy of world history divided into 10 weeks or ages. Okay. It spans from his own birth, through the flood and Noah, the election of Abraham, building the first temple, its destruction, the dispersion of Israel, all the way up to a final great eternal judgment in the 10th week.
The 10th week is the end.
The end of the current order. This judgment sees vengeance on the angels, the first heaven departs, a new heaven appears, bringing sevenfold light, an endless era of goodness and righteousness where sin shall no more be mentioned.
Wow. A new heaven.
It gives this very structured, almost like calendrical view of how God intervenes throughout history with a clear endpoint to all the suffering and transgression.
So what does all this mean for you listening, beyond the history and the prophecy? What's Enoch's ultimate takeaway message for us?
Well, he really urges us to love uprightness, to walk in it. Avoid those with double hearts, he says.
Be sincere.
Be sincere. And he has strong warnings for the rich and powerful who trust in their wealth. He says they'll suddenly perish, no compassion shown, and their creator will actually rejoice at your destruction.
That's harsh.
It is, but it really encourages critical thinking about accountability, which is such a strong theme for Enoch, right?
Certainly.
But he also assures the righteous, don't be afraid. Healing, a bright light awaits you, even if your life is full of trouble now.
That's comforting.
And he directly addresses the sinners, warning them their sins are recorded every day in heaven. The sun, moon, stars will testify against them, even the weather patterns that get messed up because of their wickedness.
Wow, the whole cosmos is keeping score.
Basically, yes. He powerfully contrasts the temporary prosperity of the wicked with the eternal joy waiting for the righteous. He emphasizes that the spirits of the righteous who have died will live and rejoice forever. Their memory endures.
So the core insight really is,
For Enoch, true justice is cosmic. It's unwavering. And ultimately, it's absolutely inevitable.
what an incredible deep dive into the Book of Enoch. We've really covered a lot.
We certainly have.
I mean, its vision of cosmic order, that dramatic fall of the Watchers, Enoch's own visionary travels through heaven, the spirit world, that complex animal allegory of history, the sweeping week's apocalypse, culminating in a new heaven and earth. It's just a text overflowing with these profound theological, cosmological concepts.
It really is. The Book of Enoch gives us such a unique, powerful lens to view how ancient people understood sin, divine justice, how history unfolds. It paints this picture, doesn't it? An ordered universe, constantly challenged by transgression, by sin, yet always moving towards a final righteous restoration.
So what stands out most to you from this deep dive? Thinking back, maybe the I don't know, the sheer audacity of the Watcher's sin,
Mm,
or those incredibly detailed celestial mechanics Uriel lays out.
those are definitely up there.
For me, I think it's the way it weaves cosmic events directly with human history. From Adam right through to the final judgment. It's just endlessly fascinating how interconnected it all is.
Absolutely. And this text, it really challenges us, doesn't it, to consider. How does Enoch's emphasis on this meticulously ordered cosmos, where the laws are broken by both fallen angels and humans, how does that reflect this deep, ancient concern for divine justice, for the consequences of disorder?
What does it imply?
Yeah, what does it suggest about humanity's role in either maintaining or, disrupting that divinely ordained balance? And maybe how does this particular vision of judgment and redemption resonate or maybe clash with other traditions you might be familiar with? It definitely leaves us with a lot to ponder.